Hey everybody! Alright, I got everything in the right spots. Cool. Sax Python, thank you for that 29 month resub. It's Monday, which isn't our usual day, but I had to get up really early to make sure Corp Line got out, because that's normally Graham's job, but he was traveling or maybe asleep. I don't know. I was not sleeping. And thus, I woke up and did that and then went back to bed. And now we're gonna go continue doing rites. Oh, there's a person we can talk to. Let's go see what that's about. And by person, I mean our fun little owl gremlin. Tizo's been in a rather cheerful mood since being out at sea. Oh, right. We went through the ocean. Right. Grateful at having the opportunity to catch a fish for old time's sake. Tizo's asking if you want to know why he loves fishing so much. You sense his inquiry is rhetorical in nature, so you anticipate his response. Tizo loves catching fish because he hates them and everything they stand for. Wow. I didn't realize fish could stand. I'm pretty sure they swim. He has devoted his life to the eradication of their kind ever since they killed his family? Okay. He seems on the verge of tears, though as far as you are aware, imps cannot cry. Then he leers at you, eyes wide, expecting a response. It seems he told you a joke. Alright, let's laugh at his joke. You muster your best belly laugh, following Tizo's joke. He stares at you sidelong for a moment. Oh no, he knows I faked it. He admits the real reason he loves catching fish is because Falcon Ron pays a lot of soul for them. He snickers back at you and bounces off. Ooh. Tizo game +1 hope. Alright then. Let's keep going. Let's see, we can go to the Ragged Rock. Ricky spotted wreckage in the area and believes there might be valuables. Or we can go to Frosty. Tizo seems very eager to see the wagon head in this direction. Well, I can't say no to Tizo. Have you seen Tizo? He's our cute little owl gremlin. Imp Tizo is much more animated than usual. What is it, little one? Tizo seems to think something very delicious is in these waters. He keeps on screeching. I don't think I have ever seen him like this. Wait, what is he? Just then Tizo dives into the waters and vanishes into the depths. Oh, I hope he can swim. He can, but he appears crestfallen when he finally returns, his claws empty. Tizo's very disappointed that whatever he attempted to catch eluded him. May begins to sob uncontrollably. The two revel in each other's misery for a time. Ew! I just got a hope for you! Tizo! You and your companions look upon the deathless tempest. Ah, yes, the thing we have to go through that's never stopped being angry. The stars demand you sail beyond it, yet the very thought is beyond reason. Then something in the nearby waters stirs, and from it springs something familiar. Hold, good ladies and good sirs, this knight beseeches you to hear him, if you please. What is it now, worm? The rites are ended, we have no further need of you. Oh, but you do, and in turn this knight has further need of you, good lady. Out with it then. Let us be joined. Let this knight join you, please. Can you believe this, Hedwyn? Not really, no. Nay, look ye not so surprised. Your valor in the rights did stir this poor knight's soul. He swears to you, upon his long-lost honor as a would-be knight errant of the Sea Dominion, that he shall serve you to the end. What about your other worm friends back here? There, the Pyre herds. They are base cowards. This knight can no longer abide such spineless characters. Having witnessed true glory in our own clash upon the hulk of ours, never before have we been trounced so thoroughly. And furthermore, this knight shall aid your passage through the deathless tempest. It is not so that you seek passage to the north? Is it? Is it not so? With this knight's aid, you shall achieve your wish. Sir Gilman continues to persuade you for quite some time. He seems to know a way to cross the storm, some sort of long-held secret among worms exiled to these waters. Jadero pulls the rest of you aside after Hedwyn gives her a look. Are you most sure that Sandalwood would want this thing along? Mostly sure. Sandalwood wants someone for each mask, and this one seems about as good as we're gonna get. Jadero glowers back at the worm, who tries his best to look presentable. Hedwyn is more gracious. He tells Sir Gilman that if he promises to help you cross the deathless tempest, then he can come along for now. This knight is overjoyed, and he hereby swears to see you past the swarm. Though first this knight requires your consent. Give unto this knight your blessing in the name of the Nightwings, and thus shall he go forth. Yes? As you begin to say something in response, Sir Gilman cries out in triumph. He vanishes into the depths. Yet, through this close encounter with him, you cling to some sense of where he is going and what he intends to do. Sir Gilman has an aura trail that extends behind him. Interesting. I guess he's a new party member, really. He kind of reminds me of, that monster from Monster Rancher. God, it's been so long since I've watched those shows, I don't remember their names anymore. Determined to prove himself to you and the Nightwings, Sir Gilman emerges somewhere in the outer reaches of the Sea of Solace and calls out to you. Master Reader, if you can hear this knight, then he implores you now, lend him your guidance. This knight's objective ought be not far east of here. Suezo, yeah. Suzo? Suezo? Yeah. You know the one. Today we shall bring peace to the embroiled sea. Know, however, that among this knight's brethren, the actions we are about to take are highly forbidden. But they are highly just. Thus Sir Gilman sets forth to quell the storm that rages to the north. Traverse the reef. Jump? Oh, look at that jump, it's so cute. Slash. Ooh. Okay. And slither. What an interesting part of the game that is different now. Hark, yonder lie the foul spawn of unfathomed plurns, boiling the seas with their wrath. Oh, you didn't know there was a Monster Rancher anime? Yeah, It was... I think it was out around the time of Digimon. At least, I think so. I kind of put them all around that time period. The Sea Titan which slain the scribe under King Ors, her brood lies... Okay. Exiled worms within these waters long have harbored these abominations, using them to bar passage through the downside's channel for any save this knight's own kind. Begone now from here, fiends. This night shall finish what the Under King Ors started. 7th of the 8th. Okay. Monster Rancher anime was 1999. Yeah, it's pretty old now. I remember having fun with it, though. Monster Rancher, Metabots, Digimon. Hold it right there, you traitorous slug. How dare you turn your back on this knight? To your superior. Superior by rank no longer, for we no longer serve the Commonwealth. Last this knight checked here, you hold no sway over this knight. Ah, and what have you done to the spawn? Have you no honor left at all? This knight has done that which required doing. His honor cannot sink much lower anyhow. He figured this would be an ideal time to free himself from servitude to you. Why, you dare to staunch the Tempest for those Nightwings? Good Sir Deluge, this knight was born to dare. Now come and fight his knight if you dare as well. Ah, Pyre Hearts, banish him. This is an order. See, Gilman, you shall ever be inferior, even amongst the weakest of our kind. Gilman, where'd you go? Gilman? Gilman? But Sir Gilman's banishment served as the perfect ruse for him to elude his adversaries and return to his newfound allies. I got 3 of them. This knight would say it was an honor serving you, Sir Delege. But that would be a bald-faced lie, and yet another stain upon his blackened reputation. Until we meet again. Wait, you loyally traitor! This knight will have your head, Gilman! I never got to play the video games for, like, Metabots and, like, any of those. I totally probably would have if I'd had access to stuff. I should look up the Metabots game, though. I bet it has some neat, like, part change out mechanics and shit. As the day wears on, there is still no sign of the Worm Knight. Your companions grow restless, but then, hail! This knight returns with newfound tales to tell and new scars to show for them. Sir Gilman is sopping wet and visibly shaken. He struggles to maintain decorum. He is, in short, the very image of a Worm Knight. Kinda like Pokemon, with 2 different versions having different parts. Oh, okay. Yeah. And more importantly, the little Tempest ought no longer pose a threat for now. Behold! As if on cue, the deathless Tempest begins to simmer and subside. Would you look at that? You really did it. Of course this knight did it. Now, if it would be alright with you, this knight would really use some shut-eye. Worm Knight then collapses in exhaustion. You and Headwind help him up. A deal's a deal, Sir Gilman. Welcome to the Nightwings. Huzzah! He joined our thing. And now we go to the Deathless Tempest. Obligatory brand mascot was also coincidentally yellow. Yeah, a lot of them were, weren't they? I guess maybe except for Digimon, except that one was orange? With Sir Gilman's aid, you managed to breach the Tempest. You were true to your word, Worm. I shall give you that. But now what? We are stranded in this cursed storm. A most excellent question, and from one most fair. Call me that once more, and I shall tie you in a knot. And from one most spirited as well. This knight was wise to side with the... Just... where do we turn from here? Answer the question now. Sir Gilman does no such thing, although eventually he does make note of a specific current that should lead you to the lands beyond. If I may, I can corroborate Sir Gilman's account. We are close to making landfall. Then let me be the first to say, let's go. Alright, onward. Say, Turek? Yes? Now that loot you're always carrying around. You know how to play it, right? Probably. Good, because, I was thinking it's a little gloomy and we could use a little tune to lighten up the mood, you know? I guess I could see what I can do.
Before the salt and roiling sea, the moon began to cry. The valley ran with sorrowful tears and filled the waters high. The misty morning over the brine belies a leaden sky. The stars all hide away from the chill until the evening rise.
And last your wagon rumbles onto solid, jagged ground. The land called Black Basin. Black glass searing vapor and strangling forests mark the forsaken lands that loom across the sea. The 8 scribes first discovered this, the northern landmass of the downside. Fellow exiles unpack the wagon so you can take stock of how best to reach your destination.
In death she leaves her stain on the place.
I wasn't expecting a song with lyrics. This is really good.
Her final throws and shivers and shakes 1,000 years gone by.
Sir Gilman's crest now. You approach Sir Gilman, who must have finished practicing his fencing maneuvers. He regards you with his single eye. Hail, Master Reader. This knight is determined to train harder, having joined the famous Nightwings. He shall ensure that this triumvirate continues to live up to its most feared reputation. This is such an honor, and this knight has a great deal of honor to regain. Having fled the Pyre hearts, this knight fully expects now to conduct the rites in a most honorable fashion, to the fullest letter of the law, described within the books. Some this knight has met, and perchance mentioned by name. They are inclined to bend the rules a bit, sometimes a lot, and to prevail by any means they can. But this is wrong. The exile who refuses to obey the rules as they were written by the Underking Ors and his 7 friends deserves neither this honor nor his freedom. Thusly does this knight have confidence the Master Reader shall resist any temptations to conduct the rites in any underhanded fashion. Now then, this knight must undergo a thorough cleansing, having trained until the point of foulness, so please excuse him, Master Reader. He slithers off, humming some sort of chivalrous tune. Alright, I don't think we have any new book pages, and... we don't have any new challenges for anyone to do. So I suppose we will survey the surroundings. You find that Hedwyn has asked for several volunteers to scout the area and report back. Alright everyone, don't go too far and let's meet back by dusk. Please use caution. The exiles dwelling in these lands are rather territorial. For your part, you remain with the Black Wagon to keep watch. You see occasional dark shapes soaring across the sky, but none of them draw near enough for you to see in detail. Eventually, your companions make their way back, and everyone arrives as planned, or earlier. Hi everyone, I'm back. I have come back. May returns from the east with little to report, save for the word that the glowing molten rock there is very hot. This knight yet lives, although he has little else to report. The newest member of the group, Sir Gilman, returns from a northern pass, visibly shaken. He appears to have discovered an intense fear of heights. Tizo wonders whether any species of fish lives in the pools or rock nearby. The little imp Tizo seems disappointed to have left the water behind. He remains with you near to the wagon. There is a western pass that seems traversable. If we travel by the light of dawn, the shadows in the crags may well cover our advance against whoever may be watching. Begging your pardon, I do not wish to contradict your strategy, though, in my experience, we shall not remain hidden for long during the climb toward Nest of Trieste. According to the start, that's where we have to go. Okay. The exiles of the Highwing remnants, you may have no love for them inherently, but they have no such qualms with me for now. I may be able to negotiate safe passage. Last surviving faction of the Winged Harps, the ancient enemies of the Commonwealth. Negotiate with them? Then Hedwyn steps in as the lone minstrel bows and backs away. Hey, let's not decide on this just yet. We're not going anywhere right now, that much we can agree on. We'll decide how best to go ahead come morning. For now, let's take the rest of the afternoon and get our bearings. Jadariel glares at the sky as everyone else disperses. You have the rest of the day to practice your vocations. Yes. I'm gonna keep studying. Wisdom. Concentrate on substance. We learn about wisdom. Gained spirit. Each rank raises your fellows' exiles' hope, making them return from banishment more quickly. Alright. Keep going. Alright, so Black Shore is the way Jordariel wanted to go. And Lone Minstrel thinks we should go to the Highwing Cove. Let's go that way. Jordariel's gonna be so angry at me by the end of this game. Show yourselves, you frightened little birds. All day long, winged shadows cross the sun. You were being watched. Jordariel's very unhappy about it, though the lone minstrel now attempts to calm her. Perhaps I can communicate with them. Please believe me when I say your enmity towards the harps had best be held in check here. A winged race known as the Highwing Remnants. Jeriel looks at him with fury in her eyes, yet he retains his calm demeanor. Soon she grants his request with a silent gesture. Then he calls towards the heavens. Good sisters, we are humble travelers such as you, and beg your leave. We journeyed by the sea and seek safe passage through your lands. We shall not disturb your hunting or your nests. The request is met with nothing but silence. You search in vain for any indication of acknowledgement. Then, without notice, one of them appears. She sweeps the minstrel up and out of sight before Jodariel can respond. Damnation! Wait here, I shall go find him. For a long, terrible moment, you are alone with your panic. Soon, however, the lone minstrel returns amid the sound of flapping wings. He dusts his cloak and calls out toward them. We thank you for your hospitality, good sisters. We shall be on our way. Having seen this, Jodariel returns, sullen. The exiles of the Highwing remnants are letting you pass for now. It seems they are having some dispute within their ranks, and wish no further troubles for the time. It is a warning, one that leaves Jodariel fuming. Whoa, -4 hope! Well, I mean, we weren't using you anyway. It's fine. At last you arrive at the Nest of Trieste, where the next rite is soon to commence. You cannot shake the feeling that unseen eyes watch your wagon's ascent, and remain watching now. Oh, there's a new page. The hunt for Myrrh. My emperor lay there bleeding and alone, stranded in a bitter land beyond the river. With fleeting consciousness, he understood the folly of his quest, and the folly of his rule over his country. Thus did he await the last embrace. It was the imp Hub that nursed him back to health, and warned him often of the dangers he would have to face. Many enemies of Myrrh would come in search of him, some under employment by the rope collar, some longing openly for cold, uncomplicated vengeance. I was one of them. I plunged into the river willingly. We needed to be sure that he was dead. Alright. And... oh, hey guys, what brings you out here? What do we have for money? Thorn Knot. When aura casting, raise the bearer's maximum range plus 8%. Grants plus 2 hope. After dousing the adversary's pyre, the bearer's pyre is restored up to 5%. Oh, that sounds pretty good. Let's grab that. What is this? Any adversaries banished by the bearer take longer to return. Should probably use some of this dust. Okay, how do I do this again? I think there's a... there we go. What do I have on you? Yeah, we keep using you, so maybe we should give you... that. There. Okay, let's go play this right. You and your fellow exiles gather on the blasted lands called the Nest of Teresta, expecting the imminent commencement of the rites. You see no sign of any adversaries, but then you hear a whooshing sound above. Ooh. This, then, is what passes for the Nightwings now. Such a rabble, not even dressed for the occasion yet. It seems the scribes have little pride in their tradition. Hold your tongue, little bird. We have not come for a talk. No, you've come on behalf of your commonwealth. Mark my words, you horned filth. When at last we free ourselves, your home shall burn. That the harp swoops off as Jodariel glores after her. It is only then that you realize another harp has come. She's quite serious, I assure you. I can help you sort her out. It's in our mutual interest. You know not of my interest. Let's give this another shot. My name's Pamitha Thane. One of the winged harps. There's surely one back there. That was my blood sister. We need to judge her harshly, though. No need to judge her harshly, though. We've only just met. Though I must say, something about you reminds me of her. How dare you implicate that I have anything in common with your ilk? Just then, Hedwyn shows up to intervene. He whispers something to Jodariel. No, Hedwyn, you cannot be serious. Jody, I'm asking you to trust me on this one. Am I interrupting something? Say, by the by, however did you make it all this way across the sea? Didn't see you fly in. Trust in something I am loath to give away, Hedwyn. But you have set our course thus far, and I have followed, so do as you must. That sandalwood had better have an explanation for all of this. Jodariel storms off as Hedwyn turns to you. What's your take on this one, friend? Our informant wants someone for each mask. I hadn't expected we'd run into a harp, yet here she is. What are you getting from her? You turn your attention to Pamitha, who has been watching with bemused interest. Ah, reader, are you? Pleasure to make your acquaintance, darling. Well, here I am. Gaze intently all you like, and tell your comrade the truth of it, why don't you? You sense that she is conflicted about something, though you do not know what. You also sense, however, that her motives here and now are earnest. Ah, sure, she seems fine. You tell Hedwyn that you think the group should take its chances with Pamitha and take her at her word. My thoughts as well. I think and hope Jadera will come around. Joey's gonna be so angry with us by the end of this game. Then turns to Pamitha. Hedwyn, we'll accept your offer on 2 conditions if you'll hear me out. Oh, well, I love a good conditioner too. First, after we've finished here tonight, you come along and make sure that your blood sister and her friends don't give us any trouble when we're headed out. Second, you'll have to find a way to get along with Jadaryl, whom you met earlier. Oh, I've no plans to stick around here anyway. As for your demon friend, no doubt we'll get on fabulously. Now, I don't suppose you have an extra set of raiments I could use, because I think the rite is getting started. You look up and see that she is right. Interesting. Each of the different races of the downside had a distinct set of abilities in conducting rites.
Reader, I thought for sure the stars would have eluded you by now. Yet here you are, somehow, upon the nest of Trieste. And you've swelled the ranks of your triumvirate not merely with another, but with 2.
Yeah.
One from the Pyre heart, no less. And one who seeks the favor of the adversaries whom you'll imminently face. They are the essence. Winged terrors, as you soon shall see. Can your longing for freedom match their hatred for the vibrant country that was once your home?
From a distance you observe as Pamitha, now clad in Nightwing's raiments, heads toward your adversaries and their rites. You, what sort of heathen harp would dare take wing against us? Your new companion then loosens the bindings on her mask. Hello there, Pamitha. Pamitha's blood sister stares back at her a while before responding. What in the saint's name are you doing here with them? 5th of the 8th scribes. Okay. Doubtless come to dig your talons in my back again. No, sister, I've come to have a word with you. Save it. I cannot help but share your poisoned blood, but I shan't ever count you as my sister. You expect me to believe that you came all this way for talk? You waste your time as ever. What's life if not a waste of time, dear sister? Give me a chance, why don't you? What do you even have to lose anymore? Besides, I've come a long way. Silence. You shan't come here, and the time for talk has long since passed. If only you could see yourself, again, consorting with my enemies. Fine then, savor their defeat, but I warn you, stay away from me. Pamitha says nothing more as her blood sister turns away again. Pamitha gets your attention. Listen to me, reader darling. The rest of you are ill-equipped to navigate this place. Let me conduct this rite on your behalf, and my wings will bring you victory. Dear lady, your words ring true. This knight is flattered that you have not eaten him, as is the tendency among your kind. This knight hereby volunteers his post. Sir Gilman refuses to participate in the rites this night so that Pamitha may face her sister. Okay. You observe the treacherous terrain. Pamitha should be better suited to the rites here than the rest of you.
Who shall conduct the rites?
Well... I want to just make sure you have an item. I think maybe we'll take... Give that to you. Why, I thought you'd never ask. If the little bird is going to conduct the rites for us, then I shall not. So we have You won't. Okay. And you won't out of chivalry. Okay, well that's fine. I wanted to grab... What was your thing? Grab Rookie. And... if we grab you... Tizo promises to do his best against Tamitha and the Essence.
It is done.
Come then, sister. Perhaps when we are finished here, you'll spare a moment of your time. I shan't be tricked by you again, Tamitha. How poetic that we meet here in the downside. I can think of nowhere else where I would rather see you rot for what you did, to our people and to me. Tamitha seems to sense your presence, and then catches your attention. Hello there, reader. If I'm to be at your mercy in all this, I'd like very much if you could minimize how often I'm to wallow in a state of banishment. Quickly, let me show you what we Sisters of the Highwing Remnants can do.
Reader, you put yourself amidst a feud between two sisters? That seems entirely unwise. Even for you. Tread lightly around that exiled Tamitha. Her kind's all but forgotten Saint Triesta's grace.
While tackling Tamitha cannot be banished. Interesting. See, darling, we harps if we are not so bad after all. Now I suppose we better get to work. Just don't go underestimating Tamitha over there. I trust you'll do the best you can.
A favorable start. Tizo banished. Their Pyre weakens.
Tizo, was it? Tell me something. You know how to fly? Tizo's rather proud of his ability to flutter, as a matter of fact. Then listen up, my blood sister there. She'll swoop right past you if you're careless. But we harps simply cannot get much altitude around down here. So if she goes for any unfair tricks, just jump for it and catch her in the act. She always hated when I used to do that to her. Press square to block flying displays.
There. Tamitha has doused the flame. Brilliantly done. How careless. A stifled effort. Ah. How fine. Rookie doused the adversary's flames.
Damn you, Tamitha. You are no true Thean. To think that you have the gall to call me sister still after everything you wrought upon us. I hate to break it to you, Tamitha, but I don't think my actions, however much they hurt you, had any effect on our familiar status. Look, I know I've wronged you. That's why I'm here. You don't know my side of the story. Your side of the story? If I wanted to hear more lies and deceptions, I ought to have asked the Commonwealth to stay my sentence for a while. Well, if you've come all this way to face me, Pamitha, then come and do it. You and me. You think that you see Pamitha shake her head. Everyone, stay back.
What is it those two think they're doing? The rights are not the place to settle petty scores. And it is done. The you-know-who prevail. Their hapless adversaries stood no chance. The right is ended.
Commonwealth filth. Only through the traitor's help could you have beaten us. You postponed the coming of our liberty, but we are ever patient, and our sisters on the other side shall have their day, with or without my aid. Tamitha, wait, please. You found good company there, Pamitha. May you wither here with them. I hope sincerely we shan't ever meet again. Pamitha stands motionless as her blood sister departs. At least we beat them, though, huh? Hey, my name's Ruki, by the way. I think we're heading back now. Are you coming? Sure, I don't see why not.
The 8 scribes bless us with their ways. 'Twould appear that Ruki's not too old to learn new tricks.
When sprinting, Ruki accelerates faster than usual. After he is banished, Ruki has a 50% chance to return in only 1 second. That sounds good. Let's go with that.
The imp Tizo appears to have a certain depth of knowledge.
Tizo, after casting his implode, Tizo returns much faster. Ooh, much wider area. Let's go with that.
Until the next round.
Didn't really explode anyone, but that's fine. After triumphing over the essence, right, that was her name, with great prowess, and the others return to your wagon to consider your next move, and how best to integrate Pamitha into the group. Don't worry, I won't be staying any longer than it takes. I like my air fresh, so I can sleep up on the roof. I trust the rights will cause my path and Tamitha's to cross again before long. You're welcome with us for now, Pamitha. Trust is what got us here. Isn't that right, Ruki? But Ruki does not seem to hear the question. He has been rather quiet since first encountering your new guest. Pamitha shoots him one of her smiles. He stammers something about having to check the wagon wheels again. He runs off. During this discussion, the minstrel pulls you aside. Reader, I ask you a moment of your time outside. There's somewhere I may ask we go, here in Black Basin, Reader. By your leave, of course, and provided that the stars allow it. Would you look upon them for us, please? Yeah, we'll take a look. The Glade of Lu. The great sap scholar Lu Sklorian here vanquished the root titan, limbless Arzek. Directly due west, then. It is just as my client indicated. This client of yours, our informant, Sandalwood. He entrusted us with this wagon, this quest. Why? What does he want from us? You may ask him yourself. He awaits us, somewhere in Waking Wood due west. How do we find him? He shall find us. It seems you are soon to finally meet Sandalwood. At dawn you shall have to cross a single narrow path leading west, where he supposedly awaits. Got a new thing. Pamitha's Moonshine. Alright. You approach Pamitha, who has kept to herself since she joined your small band. You sense she is unaware of you as she presents her flight feathers, but then she speaks up before you can do the same. Come to check up on me, reader? In those first moments when we met, that vote of confidence in me which you relayed to that nice headwind boy, I'm grateful you were willing to see past these wings. One of your kind's ancient enemies just happens to insert herself into your group, and you just go with it? However, I assure you that my motives here are plain. You'll see. I've business with my blood sister Tamitha, and nothing more. You briefly met, I think. She's quite a catch. As to the little quibble between us, oh, it's a long story, all in all. One that's frankly no business but hers and mine. Surely we'll run into her again. Maybe not soon, but in time. And we have the rest of our long lives to wait. Anyway, happy to aid you in your quest until such time, especially to the extent that it aids me in mine. A simple exchange. Until then, stay vigilant, darling. You didn't concern yourself with making small talk with someone like me. And besides, we harps have a saying, liars abound. She swoops away before you can respond. And onward we go. Looks like we're just going to Sulphurmane. Lone Minstrel cautions that the one path down the cliffs is rather treacherous. Yes, but it is also the one path down the cliffs. The wagon has hit a snag, descending the Black Crags. Its wheel is stuck. Jadariel is not pleased. As if you know any other emotion. First that blasted little bird. Now this. Though you lack Jadariel's raw strength, you join in as she attempts to dislodge the wagon. At last, with a roar and a heave, she forces the wagon back onto solid ground. May the sandalwood be worth all of the hassle. Thank you, Jody. I'm guessing Sandalwood doesn't like to be kept waiting. He's very patient, on the contrary. Not I. Let us move on. Soon the wagon is prepared to press onward, down the jagged slopes toward Waking Wood. Your companions who explore ahead advise on which of the forked paths is best. Flameberg. Sir Gilman claims he can dig up something valuable here. Glass Peak. Pamitha says she can procure a talisman. Let's see what Sir Gilman has going on. Sir Gilman is relieved at your decision to take the flatter of the two paths down the Black Crags, though nonetheless seems rather shaken by the steep trip down. This knight mislikes these heights. For shame, Master Reader. You must take this knight for a common craven coward. He buries his head in the soil. When at last you coax him back up, you see he has an item of some sort. Aha! This knight did have you fooled there, did he not? He explains how finding this item was his plan all along. Horus Crystal. Something we can sell. Having passed beyond the Black Crags, your wagon arrives at the edge of Waking Wood. It is here that Sandalwood is to be expecting you. However... Oh, most puzzling. He ought to have met us here. You said he would find us himself. He was to find us at the edge of these woods. Were we supposed to keep waiting for him? He would desire for the stars to be your guide as always. The rights beckon and the rights take precedent above all else. Surely he shall find us yet. Then let's keep moving. How do we get through these woods? Lone Minstrel notes 2 possible paths forward from this point, though cautions that the woods are difficult to navigate, and Sandalwood would have known the most expedient path. Small clearing. Place where Sandalwood once resided, or a place where he once studied. I think let's go to Greymoor. Maybe we can find something out. Or, you know, Sandalwood has led a long life compared to with any of you at least. In the latest years of his exile, he became rather reclusive for a variety of reasons he shall no doubt explain. He found some solace here in these woods, though. I fear I cannot locate his residence without him. Unfortunately, you find no trace of Sandalwood, and without him to guide you, you remain quite lost. The woods seem to have encroached. There is no path forward, while neither of the paths leading backward appear to match the route you took at this point. Ooh, interesting. May seems drawn to this location. Tizo wants to go here. Well, let's hang out with what May wants for once. The woods are so disorienting at this point that you decide to break for camp and survey the surroundings, writing clues. Perhaps later there shall be time to pursue your vocations. Ah. We have a... quest for a scribe trial. You asked Sandra to Mr. 1 for Jadariel. That surly demon? She could stand to lighten up, though I fear that is not a secret I can teach. But let us bring forth regardless. What is the meaning of this reader? The apparition Sandra appears and loosens her mask. Welcome to my humble home, demon. You're good at taking orders, no? State your purpose quickly, Wraith. My purpose is to put you to the test. You may be fearsome to behold, but you are old and slow. Your weaknesses perhaps outweigh your strengths, though I sorely wish to see you and your lovely reader prove me wrong. Old, she says. Very well then, reader. Let us show her whether she is right. Should have given you a thing for quickness. No? Okay, one more shot. I'm never satisfied, demon. However, your performance was sufficient. You passed my test. Thus, congratulations are in order. To you and you lovely reader. Now farewell. 1-on-3s are so hard. Especially with the whole banishment thing. That was a strange experience. What do you have there, reader? Solium's Horn. Jadariel casts her orb farther and faster than usual, plus 15%. Okay, so let's sift through these ashes. He was here, he was here. You mean sandalwood? If I may ask, how can you be so certain? I think from this, it says something. I don't know what it says, but I feel like it has to mean something. May produces a small strip of bark she found in the ashes. At first it seems like nothing of interest until you see a message carved onto the inside. We can sell that. So it's some kind of message from the sandalwood guy? Seems that way. Which way to Cinderroot? A hushed clearing south of the glade of Lu. It is due west. Perhaps we can set forth early tomorrow when the woods are still. Sounds good. Everyone rest up. Big day coming up. Okay. Let's do this. Hey, Josh. Gain spirit. Now we can keep journeying to Cinderroot. We have some reason to suspect the informant Sandalwood may come through here. I think we've only done 2 games of basketball so far this stream. The one right and the... Well, I guess we also had the worm fight thing. You arrive on the outskirts of Cinderroot, but once again the informant Sandalwood is nowhere to be found. You sense the hopes of your companions waning as you search through the area. Yields nothing. Then something startles the little imp Tizo. Tizo seems to be crying out in surprise. He has spotted something, or someone. A tall figure strides forward from the trees, making a sound like laughter. The imp charges toward him, and leaps right into the figure's arms. They embrace. Yeah, you missed the sea song. Hail, Tizo, but you look famished here. The tall sap, tree-like creatures, okay, produces something that the imp swallows immediately and with great pleasure. The lone minstrel nods his head in affirmation. I don't know why I wouldn't have expected somebody with the name Sandalwood to not be a tree. Everyone, I wish to introduce you to my client, Volfred Sandalwood. It has been too long, Volfred, sir. Too long indeed, Tarek. I trust your new companions bring some color to your days. They do, sir. I think that you shall find them worthy of the Nightwings. The sap looks upon the lot of you. You cannot sense his thoughts. We shall see. Then he turns to you. You must be the reader. I'm certain that we all appreciate your efforts here, my girl, though we shall manage on our own from here on out. Huh? You're welcome to continue on with us, of course, though you are free to go. I trust you have been adequately compensated for your time. Thanks as well for looking after all my books. You consider what to say to all this. Well, no, I'm going to insist on staying. You stand your ground, meeting Volfred's steady gaze, and assert to him that you do not feel your commitments to and from this group have yet been satisfied. Hold on. Volfred, sir, I'm Hedwyn. My companions and I are the ones who answered your call. We followed the signs you left for us. Now we're here thanks to you and also to this reader. Not just a reader. I thought I put my pronouns to they. Maybe I accidentally switched it. She's not disposable. We made her a promise and our freedoms are now intertwined. Volfred smirks at this. Freedom's not something to be traded or exchanged, my boy. I've hoped that you'd come to grasp this much by now. He breathes a sigh. It seems we've started off on the wrong foot. It's not my wish to sour the occasion, for there's much to do. You did choose them as they. Yeah, I thought I did. You have a right you need to get to, do you not? I'll come along, though shall not interfere, for it seems you have a kinship with this reader of yours. Now then, Tarek. Volfred, sir. Come, let's have a chat. Of course, sir. Volfred strides toward the black wagon, which must have belonged to him. You sense many conflicting emotions among your companions. Alright, well, we'll welcome him aboard. He doesn't seem to like me. Your wagon cuts through a clearing to arrive at the Glade of Lu, where the stars directed you. Volfred nods his approval but leaves everyone to their devices. Ooh, new page. Emperor Mur, scarcely could I recognize him when at last I found him. A half-starved animal, horns sprouted from his head, a bestial mirror of his blackened reputation. And I, a man who conquered countries, feared my emperor then in such a way as I had never known. My charge had been to slay this man, but when I discovered him, he was already fighting for his life. The little imp proved of little help against the Sisters of the Arch, whose entire lives were culminating in this instance. I was unable to watch. My heart ached with such pity for the man, and for the love I felt for him when I had served him that sprang to his defense. As you approach von Fred Sandalwood, you feel very much aware that you reside within his black wagon rather than he in yours. He studies you in silence for a time. Then, Tarek, if you have a moment. What is it? This reader. You deem them worthy by your estimation? The lone minstrel tilts his hat in your direction. If you wish my own estimation, Volfred, sir, then I do. Of course, it is not entirely for me to say, but I have seen this reader integrating with the others well. I believe their achievements are self-evident in having reached Black Basin. Your instructions were deliberately difficult to follow, yet they and the others followed them. Indeed, your words make sense as ever, Tarek. And what does little Tizo think of them, I wonder? Tizo indicates that, as a matter of fact, he is very happy to have you around. Thank you, Tizo. There you have it, sir. I see. He continues to examine you. High praise isn't often spoken by those two. Nonetheless, I shall be watching you. Now pardon us, Tarek and I have matters to discuss. They leave without another word, although you think you notice the lone minstrel look your way over his shoulder. Okay, we have this item to sell. And this one to sell. We're gonna grab that. Oh, okay. I like that. Let's wait. I don't think I have the money for that, do I? I don't. Okay. You and your fellow exiles arrived at the sacred site called Glade of Lu, and now look to the stars in the sky to signal the beginning of the next rite. The woods about you bring a sense of tranquility you have not felt in some time, but then you notice one of the trees move. It shuffles towards you, and regards you with an exaggerated bow.
Segre ma spectacular.
Goodness, by the roots of Luce Glorian. I would fear the rumors are correct. The Nightwings have returned. Oh, but where are my manners? Oh, one moment. The sap claws at his mask with his wispy fingers. Much better. Oh my goodness. H. Manly Tinderstoff. Sycophant. You seem certain he will land a position of high standing once he is free. At your service. Perhaps you've heard of me? My fellows and myself. You perhaps known us as the Chastity. That's the name of their group. And we shall stand against you in the rights. For now I'm just whiling away the time, making small talk. Now then, as I've introduced myself, your turns. To whom am I speaking? Then in your mind's eye you see Volfred and hear his voice. Manly Tinderstoff is not to be trusted. Reveal neither yourself to him nor me. Well? Beneath her mask, Jadariel stares back at him in silence. You suspect Volfred's message may have reached every member of the group. Why now, how very rude indeed. Well, fine, ignore me, but you do so at your own peril. Anyhow, once this evening's rites commence, any moment now, then I'm afraid ignoring me won't be any option any longer. Oh, and now I do believe the sky is beginning to show. We'll have to chat again some other time. Now come along, come along. Manly bows again and wanders off into a clearing as the stars begin to burn. There's so many weird types of things here.
Once again, the stars align themselves before you, reader. And here now at the Glade of Liu, I have to say, you've come so very far. But there are those, such as your adversaries called the Chastity, who have toiled for this too. They know that with their freedom comes great opportunity. It could be yours instead. Please show the Chastity that the Nightwings are superior.
I wonder, O honored Nightwings, how well you know these woods. Why, these woods would strangle you, and I'm afraid I could do little to stop them even if I tried. You might do better to beware of them. When Jadariel continues to ignore him, he grows upset. Why, you insolent! Then fine, let us begin the dance indeed. He shoves his mask back on in a huff. Allow me to thank you in advance for helping me return to my proper station in the Commonwealth.
Now, let us begin.
May. Ruki. Tizo. It is done.
Tizo is eager to knock Manly and his goons down a peg or two. Are you quite ready, finally, O Nightwings? May all those masks of yours ensure no harm should come to any of your lovely countenances. Now come along, let's give the stars a show. May present to you Humboldt Manly Jr. Why, he is very bit my equal and is poised to guarantee the Tinderstoff line shall have a bright, bright future. A sapling which not only has a name but bears a similar posture and likeness to him. He goes on and on about his sapling for a while. Can he be quiet now so we can do this right, maybe? Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Come on, let's get to him. Now, isn't he just the most precious thing you've ever seen? The sapling is nothing but an extension of Manly. When he is banished, the sapling should cease to trouble you as well.
Manly and his offspring hold no small degree of influence within the Commonwealth, Breeder. There are many who would welcome his return, though none so much as he himself. A flame is stricken.
Oh, what's this? It seems the woods themselves are closing in upon our little soiree. Oh, do be careful now. These grasping roots and vines, they may not hold you in such high esteem as I.
Your adversary Manly is comfortable in this suffocating glade. Yet he longs now for the comfort of his Commonwealth estate. Perhaps such wealth ought to be reserved instead for you. Banished. A banishment. Ah, yes.
Oh dear, the woods are closing in, and comfortably close to that. What shall we do? Perhaps if you would just stand aside a while, we could put an end to this that much sooner. Interesting area.
None left unscathed. Remember everything which you hold dear.
I say, have any of you noticed how it's feeling rather crowded out here? Almost as if the 100 Vines himself resents you being here. Yes, I rather think that's it. So cease with all your scurrying about with that damned orb, and let me handle this.
That's it. Oh.
Dang it.
A devious maneuver. So it is.
Alright, you Nightwings, I've had it up to here with you. Or perhaps I've simply had it up to here with all of these encroaching plants, these miserable things. Either way, I don't appreciate how you're ignoring me.
Good. Oh. You have it. Magnificent. Now go on, just once more. There. Well, now that That was exciting.
No, they're gonna... Oh.
No mercy shown. Alas.
Come on.
Zap. Splendid. And it is done. Fine, yes, the Nightwings did prevail. 'Twas as though the scribes themselves stood by their side. Thus end this night's proceedings.
I knew we could prevail, though Mr. Tinderstoff there, I think he's really upset now. Yeah, that's how we do it, people. Tizo is fired up at having prevailed against Manly and the Chastity. Well, my. Oh, worry not, oh Nightwings. I'm not angry with you, honestly. But I'm very, very, very disappointed. I thought perhaps we had something going here between us. You scratch my back, I scratch yours and all. Instead, however, you decided to spit in my face. Fine, we'll have to see where all the rudeness gets you. Now, ta-ta.
Always is there greater knowledge to be gained. The moon-touched girl has greater understanding than it seems.
Flings orb faster. When saluting her adversaries, may automatically leaps towards the orb if no one has it.
Till the stars align.
That was well done. I'm beginning to see why your companions vouched for you. Don't let it go to your head, of course. After defeating the Chastity rather decisively, we return to your wagon to consider your next move. An adequate performance back there. Adequate? Yes, adequate for the next part of our plan. Go have your reader there consult the stars, see where they take you next. I'll give you a hint. It's further north. It's going to be high up. Did this knight hear you say high up? And it's going to be cold. We'll see. Come on, my friend. Let's have a look outside then. That plan Vulfred mentioned. I just want you to know, I don't know what he means. We're here because we're going to be free again. We won't be living out our days as exiles. That's the only plan as far as I'm concerned. But there's always a catch, right? We'll see what Vulfred has to say. Anyway, I'll leave you to it. No matter what, we're getting closer thanks to you. Hey, Elmira. I guess it's this really fancy-looking golden star. So now you see it for yourself. You are summoned to the north, where looms Mount Alodiel, and at the very top, the Fall of Silmium. The sacred mountain on Right. You confirmed the stars indicated this exactly. Balfred, sir, how did you know? Balfred smiles back at him, but you sense his thoughts as though he's directing them at you.
I too can read, my girl.
Oh my goodness, a voice line.
Forbidden though the words may be.
He turns back to Hedwyn. Your reader's skills, while rare, are not unique, but as I said, I'll let her do the job. I see that you have something special going here, which benefits the plan. What plan? I thought this was about our freedom. Oh, fear not, my boy, it is indeed. Plenty of time to tell you all about it on the way. For now, however, you look like you could use some rest, and for that matter, so can I. If you'll excuse me. That's fair, all the lines do have voices, technically. You sense your companions are exhausted from their recent travels. Given the road ahead, you agree it would be best to take the night to recover as much as possible. At dawn, Volfred is already up. He reveals to you a pathway through the woods into the cold lands to the north, beyond which lies your next destination. The one path through the woods. Scalorian Shore. You get clear of the woods at last and arrive in lands grown cold in the shadow of Mount Alodiel. You will have to make it all the way to the top. In a moment of respite, Wilfred calls everyone together to discuss matters pertaining to the rites and the plan to which he alluded. It would be great if you let us in on the plan, yes. You banded together with a common faith that freedom from the downside is not impossible. Am I correct? But let me ask you something. What does freedom even mean to you? He looks in your direction as he asks, defying you to answer. You cannot sense his own thoughts on the subject, and only know the truth of how you feel. Oh, wow. Lots of choices. Doing what you want, achieving inner peace, having no master, going where you please, feel true love, living without fear, nothing, silent. I like living without fear. Tell Volfred that freedom means living without fear and not being subject to persecution or retaliation for one's thoughts and choices. He considered your remarks for a short while. Good answer. I happen to agree. Fear takes hold in freedom's wake. But fear is a natural impulse, is it not? A common feeling we all share from time to time. A deeply rooted impulse there to aid our judgment and spur us on to acts of courage. If not for fear, I doubt we could accomplish very much in life. And just now we stand upon the brink of accomplishing something vital. He then turns his attention to the whole group. Now let me tell you all what freedom means to me. Freedom means to live life without fear, just as your reader stated. To be able to indulge one's curiosities and passions, at least the ones that cause no harm to others, without the constant threat of judgment and reprisal. Freedom means not being made a criminal for what you know or whom you love, or what you choose to think or not think. He looks out toward the distant mountains. Within the next few days, your time in exile could come to an end. You could see the Commonwealth once more. And you would be exalted there, given the highest honor, the opposite of how you got here. But you would not be truly free, I think. At the least, you would become complicit to an ancient system that would deign to cast down others such as you. It is a system whose well-intentioned founding principles have long been lost, and the 8 scribes, if they are out there still, have made quite clear they shall not intervene firsthand. That is where you come in. He turns to you and everyone again, looking to each of you. Long have I wished to gather such a group, that together you might see that seeking freedom only for yourselves is too modest of a goal. You share a higher calling now. The plan, then, is this. We free each other from the downside through the rites. Then we meet up on the other side. We organize. Each new moon at dusk, we join together at the Spiral Sanctum. We need as many of us there as possible. My agents on the other side shall explain the rest. Burned down remains of the old capital. You're plotting a revolt? Just so. I'm asking a lot. You do have other options. Deceit, however, is not one of them. The reader and myself, you know by now that we can see through it. But you need not be a part of this. Nor is it in my interest to coerce you. You may go your own way if you wish. Live out your remaining days here like so many others. So if anyone among you prefers it, that... If you cannot see yourself continuing to strive together in the Commonwealth, as you are doing here, then speak now. Alfred pauses for a time, examining each member of the group. No one stirs. Very good. Some of you consider yourself friends, some others not, but all of you are bound together through the rites, and are integral to our plan. Remember that. You seek true freedom? You will not find it waiting for you in the Commonwealth, but together you can bring it about, both for yourselves and others. That is my promise. Then he lets out a long breath. That's it. I ask all of you to think on this, and let's reconvene along our journey to the summit. Ulfred turns towards the mountains, leaving you to consider what he said, and plot the wagon's northward path. I mean, there's only one way to go. It's not a lot of plotting when it's just one path. Blah, blah, blah. Beyond lies Mount Alodiel. I suggest we make camp here at the base of the mountain, for we shall need our spirits and our strength to make the ascent. Ooh. The Beyonder seeks Tizo. I dare think I remember something of that imp. He certainly stood out from all of his ilk, though that really is not saying much. Let's bring him forth. Tizo appears. Seems prepared for whatever lies ahead. I didn't really check what item I had. Should have done that. Listen well, imp, you answer to me here. Indicates his understanding is prepared to begin Sandra's trial. You know the formalities, of course. Show me, then, what you've learned this far in the rites. Here in this trial, it should just be you, my Beyonders, and our lovely reader. Oh, this is going to be hard. Tizo is excited to have completed Sandra's challenge and awaits her approval. A worthwhile effort, imp. Your performance was sufficient and you passed my test. Congratulations. Tizu is happy to be back and wonders what it is that Sandra granted you. You take a closer look at the new artifact. Tizo's Flutter and Zip abilities cost less stamina than usual. Ooh. No, we'll give that. Well, we'll figure out who wants that later. Can we? Nice. Let's discuss the. Oh, no, wait. There's someone who needs to talk. There you are. There was something which I wanted to discuss with you in private. Wolfred stares at you rather intently as if reaching out to you. And then, you do know what it means to be a reader. I read books? And stars? Those such as we are not limited to reading pages from a book. Though your ability is this, I sense, is nascent still. Mere flashes, uncontrollable. I see as well now that they haven't told you yet, your friends, and that explains a lot. They haven't told you, readers such as you cannot go free. That would have been nice to know, yes. I had wondered why you would insist on pressing onward with this group in light of this. The answer then was plain. You simply did not know or fully realize. They did not deceive you, by the way. There's no reason they would know themselves, other than Tariq, who shall not influence your thinking in such matters. Rather, I had expected when we met that you already knew the truth of this from having read the passage in the Book of Rites, which states it plain. Only those who shall conduct the rites firsthand shall walk the path toward enlightenment, and become eligible to regain their freedom. Perhaps you have not gotten to that part just yet. Wolfred breaks free from you, and looks at you again. Then he speaks to you as normal. It is plain that you are not in adequate condition to conduct the rites, and this group values you as a reader. I wish only to ensure you understand what you are getting into here. Despite whatever hopes and dreams and promises might have been shared, I do not think the rites can help you to return, if that is what you had in mind. So once again, I invite you to depart, and I will see to it that you are compensated. Do not misunderstand. If it is your wish to remain, then you are welcome, but this journey we are on, it has no guarantees, not for you nor for any of us. Do you understand? There's more at stake here than your freedom. You've learned in life to keep your expectations low and tempered. If Wolfred really wishes to know your thoughts on the subject, he knows where to find them. No, I get it. You understand the words of warning, yet just the same, you choose to carry on. There is more that you wish to achieve on this journey than freedom for yourself. I admire that. Then very well. Know that we have much at stake here in this anyway. Much more than just a shot at going back into the Commonwealth, which cast us down here to begin with. It sounds like you intend to stick around. Then we'll have a lot more time to chat as we ascend the sacred mountain in the coming days. Until then, he strides out of the way, leaving you with your thoughts. Oh, nobody leaves me with my thoughts. Out we go. Early Wolfred called for a group meeting, presumably to reveal his plan in more detail. Instead, he reveals some bad news. Wait, what are you saying? What I'm saying is that while you can indeed get yourself out of here, it can't be all of you at once. We earn our way back one by one, or not at all. But I swore that we'd go free together. We may go free together yet, but it's going to take time, and this is only the first phase. You, Hedwyn, and the others exchange glances. Let me make this plainer for you still. Here is how the coming days are going to unfold. First, we're going to ascend Mount Al-Odil. There, to the north, you may not think this wagon's fit for it, though rest assured, it's made the journey many times. Oh, you've done this before. I mean, I suppose of course you have. Next, we'll pass through Scribe's Gate. Only the worthy pass through there, as your reader could attest, if she did not merely skim the chapter of the book. I read the parts of the book the game gave me. So the scribes themselves keep watch over Scribe's Gate. Afterwards, we'll reach the Fall of Solium. One of the things, meet our adversaries in the rites. They are to be the Tempers, led by the demon Ignarius. Notorious demon leader. You'll know when you see him. Both you and they shall choose someone from your respective ranks. Then once one of them prevails, there's somebody will be whisked home to the Commonwealth. Whisked home? Precisely. Once returned, or somebody is taken in and clothed and fully pardoned. The Commonwealth knows about all this. The same Commonwealth that says a sentence into exile is forever and freedom from the downside is impossible. Many of these details the scribes themselves wish to be kept secret. Former exiles and the leaders of the Commonwealth alike have good incentive to protect those secrets well. So, then that's it. We climb the mountain, someone goes back, and everyone else stays. For most of those participating in the rites, yes, that's it. But I like your connotation, and indeed for us, that isn't it at all. If one of us returns, it shall be just a step along our path. However, let's let that sit for now. Gather your strength. We'll talk again on our way up. Valfred leaves the rest of you to consider what he said. You have time now for your vocations. Doop. What is tenacity again? Alright, presence. Yeah, that info dump sounds a lot like you have to play this game again and again and again. Which is a thing, I suppose. It's a sports thing. I mean, I kind of figured that not everybody could go up at once. I assumed that at most 3. Just because it said you had to do, like it felt like you had to level up enough or something. Here before you lies Mount Eliadil. Stretching far beyond your line of sight, somewhere upon this mountain lies the only place from which you can escape the downside. Your companions gather around again before Valfred, who stands tall as ever. Whether from the cold air or the subject now at hand, you sense attention in the air. Now then, you'll all have many questions. I've done a lot of talking, so go on, ask away. But there is only silence. One question stands out in your mind, which you refrain from asking yet. If only one of you is to go free at first, who shall it be? Go on now, don't be shy. Who first? Why us? Why you indeed. That I can explain. You've seen this sort of stand against as adversaries in the rights. What is it that they want, do you suppose? They want their freedom back, of course. They'll settle for it on the Commonwealth's own terms. They'll gain their freedom, and some cushy new responsibilities. Perhaps then they'll even have a hand in sending still more exiles here to join us. Think on it. The Commonwealth rose from the ashes of a fallen empire thanks to the efforts of the first exiles who escaped this place via the rights. It is the Commonwealth's first and proudest tradition to honor those ones who lived to redeem their transgressions. They have a certain wisdom, do they not? But as for you, I've been looking for a certain set of dispositions for a good length of time. All I needed was for somebody appropriate to show up and to listen. So I planted my many little eyes and ears throughout this land, whispering hints of this, absurd as it may sound. It took someone with a certain faith and creativity to go for it. That someone proved to be Hedwyn over there. He was tasked with seeking 2 trustworthy allies, an old buried wagon and a reader. He was invited to bring others for the ride, all different sorts, gather enough help, and he and his friends would be free. Long story, but you know much of the rest. So then why you? Because I have reason to believe you're not the sort to play right back into the Commonwealth's old hand. The rights, as you have seen, are quite exclusive. You are imposters in this little party. You could be the ones to break it up. Now then, more questions! Your head is beginning to spin. You can excuse yourself or keep listening. Sure, fine. Walfred's explanations are a lot to take in, though you feel compelled to absorb as much of what he is willing to tell you at this point. He prompts for further questions when Jodiel raises her voice again. Hold, you mistook my meaning. I understand your plan. Still, I wish to know why us. Why are we, among all others, chosen for this liberation rite? On a blooded moon at the fall of Solium, an exile from the Prevalium goes free. I see. Well, that is simple, really. You are chosen, you are qualified, I should say, because as the expression goes, 'tis what the scribes ordain. Though in this case the expression is quite literally true. When the 8 created the rites, each of them anointed certain other exiles to participate on their behalf. Exiles who show some promise of redemption. The people they formed from have stood the test of time, replenishing their numbers as their individuals move on or passed on. You've met them as they are today, the accusers, the withdrawn, and so on. Which ones were those? I think they were at the beginning. The 8 scribes also formed a special group, against which all the others would be judged. That group they called the Nightwings. You bear their books, wear their masks and raiments. You need but show up to the rites that you see. The others, erstwhile, jockey for position for a chance to take you on. Yeah, well, what if we don't? What if we don't show up? Then you would deny yourselves a chance at freedom, and deny it also to your adversaries. Victory means nothing in a common rite, then. Participation is all that matters. Not so. Only the enlightened may regain their freedom. While failure can be an excellent teacher, the scribes do favor the victor. So you see, those who do not conduct the rites, or do not prevail in them sufficiently, they may find themselves barred from the liberation rites. But these are technicalities. The Nightwings disbanded years ago. Since then, no one has gone free. Yet still the other triumvirants pressed on, with fleeting hope that one day you'd be back. It's been a heavy price to pay in all of this. Now, if you'll excuse me, we'll talk again some other time. Some murmur to themselves all about this as Wilfred takes his leave. Others reconnoiter? Wow, that's not a word you see every day, is it? Pathways leading up the mountain and present you some options. Okay, what do we have? May believes the 8 scribes will bless whoever goes through the Emperor's Ascent. And Pamitha expects some valuables to be stashed out here. We're gonna follow me. The sublime beauty of Mount Al-Adil, along with the thin air this high above the sea, has been enough to silence even the most talkative of your companions. However, May has been positively bursting with excitement. Isn't it wonderful? I think it really is, don't you? Tizo seems not to share May's enthusiasm. He does not like the cold. You've been here before, Tizo, isn't that so? Why would you ever leave? I wouldn't leave. I'd stay. I think I'd stay. Unless maybe I got too cold. Or hungry. Wait, is that? Something about her changes then. Wait, look, but Tizo, didn't you see? Look, don't you see them there? Tizo seems to be exclaiming something in utter disbelief. You yourself see nothing, but May rises almost off her feet as the imp looks on astonished. Was that the scribes? It was. I know it was. They said something to me. They spoke to me. They told us we are welcome, that we're welcome here. May runs off to spread the word among all your companions. Strangely enough, her enthusiasm is infectious, and in spite of everything else, your spirits rise. Yes. +2 hope. Hedwyn expressed a passing whim to see the view. And Sir Gilliam wishes to look upon the sacred waiters. We haven't done anything for Hedwyn in a while. You and Hedwyn walk in silence for some time as he conducts a customary survey of the area. Well, my friend, no signs of howlers, as Jody would say. No sign of anything at all. You sense something is troubling him. Oh, that. It's just... I've been giving lots of thought to everything Wolfred's told us. In another couple of days, one of us may be gone all of a sudden. Or, I don't mean to put it that way. One of us could go free. We earn our way back one by one, as he said. I want you to know something. The others and I, we talked it over, and when the time comes, we want you to decide. Decide who gets to go, if anyone. This might all be a part of Wolfred's plan, but we got here thanks to you, and even though I'm worrying right now about us splitting up, I guess if Wolfred has his way, all of us will meet up on the other side. And won't that be a day? Worst case, we keep failing in the rites and be stuck down here together just like this. The two of you walk on in silence for a time. When at last you return to the wagon, Headwind turns to you again. Thanks for the company. I think I'm better now. You and your companions gather at Scribe's Gate, where the single narrow trail to the summit narrows even more and falls under an archway carved of stone. Come along now, everyone, and be prepared to speak your mind when you are called. Frankly, most of you still lack enlightenment, but we may pass together. Much how we act is with a single heart and mind during the rites. Well then, lead on. Word, Tarek. Please follow me. Removing his hat, the lone minstrel approaches the gate. You and all the others follow. Oh, hello. When the last of your companions nears the arch, you notice someone standing high above, who then appears before you. She eyes the lone minstrel first. Is that you, Tarek? It is. Greetings, Celeste. She watches over Scribe's Gate and seems to be connected to the lone minstrel on the right. And how was your rest? Too long, Celeste. It seems your work has piled up in the meantime. You bring this many to the gate? Then let us make this quick. She gestures towards the rest of you. Now each of you in turn state who you are and what you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate. Do as she says, please without questioning. Your fellow exiles exchange glances but quickly comply. I'll start then. They call me Headwind the Deserter. I've come here seeking freedom for myself and my companions. In my case, so I can return to be with one whom I love. The woman bids him forward. The lone minstrel prompts Ruki to speak up next. I'm regarded by the name of Ruki Greentail. I just want to be out of here. I guess, with my chums preferably. Go see Mama back home. I am Captain Jodariel. I do not truly know as yet what I am seeking here. Oh, my name is May, and I am here, I think, because the scribes have called to me. It must be them, because if not, then who? Tizo seeks to live up to the Nightwing's legacy and maybe see the Commonwealth someday. Sir Gilman of the Sea Dominion at your service. This knight is on a quest to find his honor. He lost it at a certain point. Bemitha Thien. I'm only here because my sister's here. Then, as Wolfred steps forward, the one called Celeste raises her voice. You. I recognize you from the Nightwings of the past. You are not clad in the raiments any longer. I would know why. I had my chance already. The Nightwings that stand before you, I travel with them as a pilgrim now. I see. Then state why your heroes have the others. My name is Wolfred Sandalwood. I seek liberty for each of us so that one day we all might stand shoulder to shoulder on the other side and bring our freedom to the people there. She waves him by. Then she turns to you, for there is no one left to go. I don't know who I am. You cannot for the life of you recall a time before arriving in the downside. Details of the Commonwealth are scarce within your mind. Perhaps you wanted to forget the place. The one called Celeste continues to examine you, expecting you to add to your response. I want to help my friends. The companions you have met here who have helped you survive and find kinship in the downside. Your priority is to ensure that they achieve their goals. That is all you wish for now. The woman regards you for a time, then nods once and waves all of you by. The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. And Tarek? Yes, Celeste? Being your way as well. The lone minstrel bows his head and puts his hat back on. He does not look back at her. Then our wagon wiggles into the place. From the top of Mount Elodil, you can see the distant downside before you. You think on the many thousand leagues you crossed to reach this point as the sky grows dim. Ooh. The Imp Hub and I, we helped to save my Emperor, and when the danger did subside, my Emperor Solium Mur, he said something to me, which shook me to the essence of my being. He said, "You gave your freedom, Master Golothianian, so that I may have yet mine. You too now are an exile of the downside. In all the days which I have left, I never could repay the mercy you have shown me. So if I cannot do so in this life, then I shall do it in the next." We crossed the land together, and together with the imp, we regained the company of those who saw in him what I did. Jadiel appears to be prepared for whatever is to come this night. Though it is not yet dark, she is already in her raiments. Hedwyn soon joins her, also looking ready. Any sign of Rookie? None as yet. Complained about a chafing of at the collar of his mask. Our freedom might be hinging on that collar, then. I am certain that it is. They share a laugh together. The three of you exchange glances, but nothing is said or needs to be said. Soon, if Ulfred is to be believed, one of your companions may regain his or her freedom. Hey, what I'd miss? Am I late? Is it starting? Is it starting yet? Easy, Rookie. We got a little time. It isn't starting yet. How fare your struggles with your mask, Greentail? Feeling a lot better, thanks. Just had to smash it repeatedly against a wall for a little bit. Put some of the old nerves to bed there for good measure. Though, this is really happening, huh? One of us might be getting out of here, like soon. By dawn, in fact, if all goes well. If all goes well. That's one way to look at it, I guess. What are you getting at, Greentail? Well, it's just, we might be breaking up the band here, people. If one of us gets out, that's been bugging me a while now. I thought we were all getting out of here at once. He shoots a look at you. Some of us, we might not be getting out of here at all. Hedwyn slams his fist against the wall. No, not if I can help it. We made a promise to each other, each of us, the four of us. We're all getting out of here. I care about the others too, I do. But we've been here from the start. I want you to know my promise is to you, and I believe you'll do the same for me. So it's like this. If any one of us gets out, great. But it's just a start. We're going to do whatever it takes on the other side to make it so the rest of us can get back too. What do you think they're going to build a bridge down here if we ask nice or something? I don't know what it's going to take. I just know we have to try. Jadariel turns to you. Reader, we shall find a way. She nods to reassure you, and to reassure herself. Rookie nods his head in turn, and Hedwyn's gaze never once falters. Well, my friends, I think it's about time. Let's go. One by one, they turn towards the door. The fall of Solium awaits. A vital step in your quest for freedom, yet you feel in your heart that it shall only be the first. I don't think I have. Scribe snuff. Drag to a talisman pocket to activate. Usable once. Unleash it, unlearn any masteries, and choose again. Ah, okay. Is everyone prepared? Yeah, so several of us have another question that's been troubling us. You need but ask. You said that one of us is going to return to the Commonwealth if we defeat the Templars and the Rites this night. What happens if we fail? Oh, don't you see? The path to freedom and the path to enlightenment are one and the same. Do you intend to stray from the path? No. Then you have nothing to fear. But let me be much more upfront with you. Should you be defeated by the Templars this night, then one of them shall end up going free instead of you. It is simple as that. What then is to be done? The very same as if we achieve victory. We await our next such opportunity and make the most of it. Tonight our plan is set in motion. We are united in our cause. We shall look as ever toward the stars for guidance and seize upon our future chances just as they arise. Plan's current probability of its success is 17%. Thanks, game. So look up, my boy, and set aside your doubts. It is time to take great strides along the path. story shall continue regardless of the outcome to this or any rite. You need but see it through. Nice.
Many years have passed since last the Nightwings gained the summit of the sacred mountain and stood upon the fall of Solium. You are to be commended for your guidance, reader, but only if you can prevail in this liberation rite. Here you stand to gain much more than some enlightenment. Your adversaries are none other than the Tempers. I trust they need no introduction. Soon, one among you shall regain their freedom.
The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared. I concur. The pyres burn. Okay. Then, anointed one of the Tempers, come forth now, and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings. A massive demon swaggers into view. He reaches for his mask. You know who I am already, but look at what we got here. The damned Nightwings decided to show up. Almost figured we were never gonna see the day again. He takes notice of someone in your ranks. Hey, you! He indicates to Dariel. She scoffs back at him. Lose the mask. Ain't seen one of our own in ages. Not in these damned robes. Jadariel's hesitation is almost imperceptible before she moves to remove her mask, just as her adversary asked. Satisfied? Whoa, you must be new! Dariel soon puts her mask back on. Enough talk. Ha, I like you, curly horns. Tell you what, once we put out your lights, you come along with these guys. We're gonna have a slot open. Only shame is I ain't gonna be around to show you a good time. I should rather cut out my tongue. Oh, you don't mean that. Our kind, we ought to stick together. Now come on. Ignarius throws his mask back on as his allies snarl at the rest of you. Have the Nightwings reached a decision on whose behalf they shall conduct this rite? The lone minstrel gets your attention in a subtle way. Reader, this is it. The first companion whom you choose shall be anointed to go free this very night if you prevail. The other two shall lend their aid. As you may know, only the most enlightened in the rites are eligible to go free. Not all among you may be ready yet. Okay.
Who most deserves their freedom?
I'm gonna put Ruki there.
Ruki.
Then the Gate Guardian looks upon you and your adversaries. Very well then. Under the watch of the 8 scribes, here are the stakes of this eve's liberation rite. Should the Nightwings prevail, the one called Ruki Greentail shall be liberated. Should the Tempers prevail, the exile Ignarius shall be going free instead. She then turns to you. Hugamung. Okay.
Who shall lend him support?
May in there.
Nay.
And Tizo is more than willing to throw all his support behind Ruki this night. Very well. The 8 scribes accept your choices. She then indicates to the lone minstrel. Now, are you prepared? Yourself prepared, Tarek? Then let us begin. Nightwings, I've been waiting an awful long time to get out of this hole. Try and stop me.
Commence.
good for nothing Nightwings. Skip out on us for years and years, then show up all of a sudden like you're gonna let somebody out for once. But now we gotta work for it, I guess. Ah, damn it, I used to be the best. At this, at least, but now the pressure's getting to me. I can't believe it's getting to me. Oh, Moira, I doubt you even recognize me anyway. Come on, Nightwings, let's see you keep this up.
Yourselves wide open. Now then. Deliverance. The rite is nearly ended. And there it is, at last. The Nightwings proved their worth.
Success!
An outcome which left little room for doubt. Thus ends the liberation rite. And thus, the scribes have chosen. The exile appointed by the Nightwings shall be free. Absolved of all misdeeds, return to glory in the Commonwealth. His adversary and all others shall remain to carry out their rightful sentences.
Ah, what a joke. We should have had this. You should have had this. Got all rusty. You've been waiting so damn long. Damn it, damn it. Nightwings, be seeing you around, I guess. And next time, you ain't gonna be so lucky. So what now? I guess I'm just supposed to jump into this waterfall thing back there and... home free? Home free. Something comes over him then. Now listen to me, chums. Don't any of you go thinking you're gonna miss me, yeah? You're gonna do just fine, even without old rookie Greentail there to keep an eye on all of you all the time. Even though the rest of you are a bunch of slowpokes and all that. Me? I'm just gonna be busy drinking myself silly on Commonwealth stock. I'm sure I'm soon gonna forget each and every one of you. But just in case I don't, you be sure to stop by and visit me if you ever get back there too. Just look for Mama Greentail's shop right in the heart of town. You can't miss it. So yeah, stop by, say hi, you know, but I gotta go, excuse me. He drops into the Shimmer Pool. Seldom seen celestial phenomenon linking the downside back to the Commonwealth. Thus, beneath the blooded moon, the Scalarium waters rise, but for a moment, only to fall again. And disappears within, although you can still hear him going on about something. I mean, it was either Rookie or, Tizo or, Jadaril, because I've done the scribe rights for them, and I'm afraid if I let someone go, then I can't do the challenge scribe rights for other people if they're not there to do them. Whoa, let me tell you, this is weird in here. Hey, it's starting. Oh, wait. Ricky earned back his freedom.
Godspeed, Rookie Greentail. The 8 scribes are ever merciful. By their grace, the cycle of the rites may soon commence again. Until the turning of the stars, farewell.
After your victory over the Tempers and the Liberation Rite, you return to your wagon to decide how to proceed from here. I miss him already. It is quieter now, but yeah. We'll see Rookie again if we persevere. Our journey has now begun in earnest. We'll just need to make a few last preparations while we're here. What about the stars? Can we afford the time? About that, reader, go see for yourself. The night sky over Mount Alodiel is much darker than you would have expected. Your thoughts are with Rookie as you look towards the heavens. Yeah, I probably should get rid of Jodariel next. I don't use them really. Because they are kind of... They're just so slow. You search the sky, but in vain. No stars are shining now. The stars revealed nothing, did they not? You confirm his suspicions. It says the book foretells. This is the chance we need to make ready for what lies ahead. There's a haven south of here we'll travel to at dawn, and the stars decide to shine for us again. We'll be ready, mark my words. River frost. So cold it can burn the skin, but keeps the wagon cool and food fresher longer. It's a keepsake. Oops, I left that before talking to Sir Gilman. After the Liberation Rite, you find Sir Gilman in an uncharacteristically quiet and contemplative mood. He salutes you crisply with his tail. Glory to you, Master Reader, and glory to the noble Rookie Greentail. Long may he prosper in the Commonwealth. And in doing so, may he benefit the plan into which we have all been thrust. Then he falls silent for a time. You sense him growing very emotional. In noble Rookie, this knight found a kindred spirit, Master Reader. One of questionable honor, the greatest cunning, and such blinding speed as to befit a minstrel's tale. This knight fears our triumvirate lost something irreplaceable in him. Of course, this knight is also pleased that Rookie has achieved his freedom. Very much so. And furthermore, this knight shall continue training even harder than before. Rookie Greentail, this knight shall train on until such a time as he is swifter than the jagged lightnings of the deathless tempest. Now, Master Reader, this knight must beg his leave of you, for it is time, not for his rest, but for his training. Knowing that he is very grateful for your wisdom and your guidance in these rites, between yourself and Master Rookie, you have instilled within this knight an unshakable resolve. He bows low and bids you a good evening. Good morning. The place I noted earlier, let me illuminate the way. The Moonlight Alcove. Wolfred indicates you can await the next cycle of the rites here. It would be cool to see what they would have made if they weren't making Hades 2 next. But, you know, kind of neat to see them do a sequel too. Wolfred leads all of you into a calm and quiet clearing. Tucked away inside one of the mountain's hidden folds, all about you see a variety of strange items and equipment. bide your time. Actually, I'm going to assume... Oops, didn't want to actually do that. Yeah, I guess it's technically... That's because it's only... Okay, but Ruki doesn't keep the item. It's just we can't use it because nobody is Ruki. Okay. You find Wilfred seemingly lost in thought, but then he turns to you. Greetings, reader. This wagon and I weave many memories together, and I could not help reliving some of them just now. I suppose some aspects of my past may be of relevance to you, given your role. If there is something that you wish to know, you need but ask. I would like to know more about the Nightwings disbanding. You expressed interest in knowing more of how the Nightwings came to be here, and Wilfred's past connection to the group. I've been connected to the Nightwings almost since the beginning of my days in exile. They found me in a manner, as I understand, quite like how Hedwyn and the others found you. Back then it was a smaller group than we have now. I joined an exile called Irisa and another known as Oralek. Once in a while, we let little Tizo stand with us as well. He's rather older than he looks. The other triumvirates we stood against, they feared us. Only the Tempers presented any threat to us in any given right. But there was a terrible accident. Irisa, we lost her. And Oralek, he was my friend. He fell from Mount Alodiel. We lost him as well, on the night when he was to be free. We were reckless, hasty, and I was powerless to stop any of it. I blamed the rights themselves, the circumstances that put us into danger. The downside has claimed many lives yet. It was too much. I vowed never again to don the mask and raiments. I had the black wagon cleared and buried, such that it could not be used again. If the Nightwings would rise again, it would be under different circumstances, under new leadership, and towards a different purpose. That is all I wish to say of this. Oh. How do you earn your sentence? He asked Wilfred about his past in the Commonwealth and how it is he came to be in the downside. How rather forward of you. Most whom I have met during my travels have been reluctant to approach the subject of one's history before one's exile. Nonetheless, I am happy to tell you. As a reader, I assume you are familiar with the stamping press? An illegal invention allowing written materials to be published, an extraordinary right. Yeah, okay. I owned and operated one. I took issue with the Commonwealth, the ban on literacy, the interminable wars against the high-wing remnants. I spread the truth about it all with my machine. Under pseudonym, of course. Still, I knew I was putting myself at risk, and sure enough, my stamping press was eventually discovered and burned to the ground. I, however, managed to elude capture for a while. But not for long enough. Here in the downside, I chanced upon the Nightwings, who were searching for a reader. In that respect, my past, I think, is similar to yours. Anyway, that is long the short of it. Now then, how do you know the minstrel? He asked Wilfred about his history with the lone minstrel, whom he seems to know quite well. Tarek was there with the Nightwings when they took me on. His manner has always been much as you've seen, although he is somewhat more cheerful now than I recall back then, if you can believe that. I think our plan has sparked a little fire in him. He serves the Rights and the Nightwings. I have tried to ask him of his past before, but he seems rather reluctant to speak of it, though it is plain that he's not from around here. This being the downside, I respect his wishes for some privacy. Nonetheless, although I do not know too much of him, I count him as a friend. I lost track of him for some time, though it was he who first informed me that the Nightwings had returned. He and Tizo were instrumental in our meeting. It's been good to see him doing relatively well. Anyway, was there anything else? Nah, I don't have anything else in this question list. We thank Wilfred for his time. Likewise to you. I guess we will bide our time. Everyone, the amenities are modest here at Moonlight Alcove. Small landing on the dark side of the Sacred Mountain. but I suggest that you get comfortable. We may be here for some time. As for myself, I have some business to attend to. Please leave the wagon in my care for now. It shall be ready by when you next need it. From the mountaintop, you can see all across the downside. Its impossible expanse staring back at you. The thought occurs to you that you may never see another land besides it. And so, you and your companions wait upon the rooftop in quiet solitude, anticipating when the cycle of rites begins to turn again. Then you shall have another opportunity to free one of your own. You may even earn back their freedom one by one. Many moons pass. Then one evening... May I have a moment, reader? The lone minstrel finds you poring over the Book of Rites, as you've been learning as you're leaning through your stay at this boat. Begging your pardon, but there's something you may wish to see. Please follow me. You follow him into the cold night. Look forth, reader. The stars shine like you've never seen. One more, the path toward salvation is revealed, but now something is different. Oh? Oh, that is different. Each prior time you search the stars, they show to you a single path, but now several rites avail themselves to you at once. Alright. Let's go fight. We haven't seen, what's his face in a while. Let's go fight him. The star urges that we go to the Spring of Jomir, a long way off. Belfred, sir, how are we to reach the Spring of Jomir in due course of time? You know full well, Tarek. Preparations are complete. You think you see the lone minstrel smile ever faintly, but cannot be sure. Please ask the others to gather their belongings, rest, and then assemble at the wagon there at dawn. We shall be departing at this time. As you will. The cycle begins anew. As the years advanced, you'll find there ought to be fewer rites this time until, once more, we are to traverse Scribe's Gate. Exactly how many is difficult to say, but our next chance at liberty ought to present itself much sooner than before, so let's ready for it now then. Our companions have not traveled far from Moonlight Alcove. Word of the news soon spreads throughout the group. Okay. Next morning, Valfrid calls everyone together before the Black Wagon. This old wagon is more than it appears. With Bertrude's aid, it escorted you across the sea to me. Now it shall escort us anywhere the stars require. Come and see. Something has changed about the wagon's interior. Yeah, a few things. What looked before to be old cracks and signs of age now expose various intricate components once hidden from view. You are the Nightwings. You should travel in their customary way. He turns to you, indicating levers and devices marked with symbols from the book. Now, reader, whenever you're ready, you may take us up. I'll show you how. And everyone else, hang on to something. Take off. After having soared in the sky, the Black Wagon remains aloft somehow. Oh, by the scribes. By the Underking! I can't believe it. The Nightwings sail in skies again, wheresoever the stars may call for them. There is one catch. The downside provides few locals suitable for landing. Locales. Though we should be able to find at least a couple landing places near to where we're going. We'll then make way by land or sea towards our destination. Now, without further ado, let's proceed. Okay. Wasn't expecting to have control over the ship. Something about the strange island you see below draws your attention. Best to avert your gaze from the Isle of Kelvner. Even the scribes themselves thought to avoid this place. Let us fly on. Oh, we're not the only ship flying around either. That's neat. The spring of Jomir has always flown forth from the crushed carapace of Bielanthius, the Hive Titan. The legend of whose demise is a rather sordid tale. Perhaps you already read about it in the book. I don't believe the book exists, of course, nor the greater titans, nor the rites. I've encountered exiles believing that this titan perished quite by accident, rather than by a cunning trap laid for it by Jomir of Manymane. They took the titan for a common beast. Perhaps the stars shine down upon out of the way locals, such as is one to ensure that they alone shall witness the proceedings. You touch down in the heart of Jomir Valley, where first you face the fate and the dissidents. You briefly wonder where they might be now, or how they fare. You join your companions for a routine inspection of the wagon following its flight. Sir Gilman confirms the wagon's wheels withstood the shifting temperature and still appear to be in reasonable shape. Tizo managed to calm some of the drive imps prone to dizziness or frenzy at high altitudes. Other than that, everything checks out, and the rest of the crew got through the flight without complaint. You now have a little time before having to set forth by land. Okay. So, what is this thing? Exhibits a flagrant disregard for natural law, thus providing the light entertainment. It's a keepsake. Let's read the book first. Wow. There's more things to touch. Living in exile. Once I too roamed free. I remember well those days in which I was called chief. I traveled all the world over on my 4 good paws, and I was well adorned. I wanted to grow stronger. Here at last I have. I shall not mince my words. This place shall either harden you or kill you. It shall haunt you with old memories. You shared the exile's plight. My charge is to alleviate the sting of it for you a little bit, and to prolong your stay, but only for as long as needed. Your charge is to return. We call this place the downside for a reason. But in time, here you can learn to eat, to seek out shelter, and to find a certain beauty in unlikely places. Oh, okay, so this is to show where you are. That one. Years upon long years we spent distilling life essence from many things, which all once writhed under the auspices of their mortality, which we ourselves cut short. In this we have no regrets, for we learned much, and so we think that did they. We earned the title Witch, and were forced to flee into the downside. Here we encountered Solium Myrrh, and soon we gained an understanding of each other. We bade us circumnavigate these lands and catalog our findings. We felt a strong desire to expose the secrets of this land. We wished to yield benefit to those who followed in our wake. Indulge us both, then. The downside prairie first appears serene. It is not. The soil there accommodates only the region's brutish native vines and overbrush. The most likely food source proved poisonous. Thus we journeyed further north. The climate there grew fouler to my senses, though the Jomur found it amenable. The sprawling valley pocked with long evaporated lakes gives evidence to the monstrosities which roamed this land. We found this region's western edge to be more pleasant on the whole. Therein we found sources of fresh water, whereas over to the east we found the edge of the land's most hideous decay. Gaining the summit of the sacred Mount Elodiel involved no small amount of sacrifice and sorcery in varying proportion. The mountain's energies were palpable, the sensation that we felt indescribable. The lands we stood upon were closer to the stars than to the world we knew. It was upon this highest point in all the downside that we first made efforts to concoct this tome, which you now read. It was there that we were stricken with a vision of the cycle of the rites, and felt together for the first a sense of freedom unlike any we experienced before. But this is a subject which our comrades shall illuminate in greater detail. Celestial landmarks. Do you feel a kinship with the stars? You owe your everything to them, perhaps one day even your freedom. I chased the stars across the river of my genealogy until they led me here. I demanded they explain to me the paradox of knowledge, for how is it that something can be shared but still contained within ourselves in its entirety? The stars did not respond, but sent me on a quest. I sought the 9 landmarks, which they revealed to me so that someday I could reveal the mysteries to you. These landmarks, emissaries of the stars, are 9 lenses through which we see the land and see ourselves in a new light. Much can be said about the Sisters of the Arch, whom we banished to the great beyond for deeds irredeemable. Suffice it that the details of their banishment are written in this book. The sisters in the book became inseparable, not unlike the stars, their light, and the infinite darkness that engulfs them. The stars communicate to us, and you in turn. The words within the book are but an edifice, a simple surface. Look past the text to the hidden meaning, to the hidden power. The stars above, as they are not mere lights, these are not mere words. If you chance upon the Sisters of the Arch within their prison here, give them our thanks. So, spend Soul of the Slugmark to read more pages, return to different regions, visit celestial landmarks. At first I found it much too difficult to read, much less to write, even to grasp the quill, but the horned one, Mur, implored me. He said this is the greatest gift that he could give me in return. In return for what, I asked. In return for his life, he said. But I did not save your life, I said. You did, he said. We fight about this still. Mur is stubborn, more than I. Now herein and by his leave I chronicle the 9 triumvirates, for I am of this land, unlike the rest who wish to leave. We knew not everyone could leave who wanted. Seldom would the opportunity arise. Thus did we organize those striving for the chance into 9 sets of 3. We, the 8, assembled here together in the downside, and we gave our freedom so that you may have yet yours. It is an exchange we have not lightly made. It is my charge to ensure that you, should you regain your freedom, first off recognize its qualities and also use it wisely. You do not need a pair of wings in order to be free. My own wings, I once thought that they could take me anywhere, and then they took me here, where I am bound. It is your charge to be free, and not to make the same mistakes. Spring from here and learn from what we did, and build a new and great society, a free society, with wings spread wide for everyone. Okay, I think that's all the book pages. Oh. Waking Wood Wisps. Alright. Sir Gilman is shivering there, after the Black Wagon's maiden voyage through the skies. Master Reader, this knight is very, very slightly out of sorts is all. He merely appears terrified, but he assures you that this seeming cowardice is but an optical illusion in this case. Pamitha overhears and joins you. Flying's not for everyone, Sir Knight. This knight heartily concurs, though how anyone at all can stand it, he has yet to understand. Well, let's see. What's it like to swim the waters of the Sea Dominion? Ah, those glorious murky waters, engulfed in hideous warfare to be sure, but otherwise a joy to cut across, to feel the coolness of the waves beneath one's gill slits and the like. Though this knight is now accustomed to this life above the surface. Flying's just the same, Sir Knight. It resists those of us not born to it. I in turn have wondered what your seas are like, but the thought of swimming fills me with disgust. Though I haven't had to swim, and you now have to fly. That's very brave of you, and you handled it better than some heart-fledglings I've met in my day. You'll get used to it. She departs, but you sense Sir Gilman is feeling better after the exchange. Alright. Oh wait, there was a... Right, there's a challenge we could do for May. +2 quickness? Yeah, we'll leave that on. I must admit I do sense something from that one. I once had a wild heart myself, quite like her own. We shall see if there's more to her than that. Let us bring her forth. Ooh, The Boy and the Heron? Oh right, I guess that's in theaters now, isn't it? Soon May arrives in heed of the summons. The scribes. I think that if I listen carefully that I can hear them calling out to me. I suppose it should be... probably shouldn't be too long before that movie hits streaming services. Or the internet. I'd love to go to a movie theater again, but also they kinda still not really... not ready. The apparition Sandra appears and unfastens her mask. You answered me. Okay. Such naive enthusiasm. Now be silent. It is plain to me that you have much to learn as yet about the rites, but you have learned something, and I would see you prove it without the benefit of anyone, save for your reader. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't one to go to the movie theater very often in the first place, because money, but you know, there's still sometimes it's a fun thing to be able to do. Are you out there to help me? Oh, she's talking to me. We're gonna fight 3 tiny little Tizos. Oh no. Okay, I approached that badly. Their Tizo teamwork is very good. They're so quick. Okay, I just gotta get there one more time. Okay, we made it. That's what's important. How'd I do? I must admit that you did better than I expected. You've passed this trial of yours. Some congratulations are in order. Alright, what do we get from me? Did I imagine all of that, miss? Because I hope I didn't. Wow, what is it you have there? After May casts her aura, it can bounce off of objects and solid surfaces. Neat. Well, we might as well put that in your... pocket. And okay, explore. You end up spending part of the day with Jodariel exploring the sea area surrounding your wagon. You learn this area used to be a swimming hole many years ago. These waters are poisonous, but the curs who gather here, they swam regardless. A lasting memory of the place is standing by the shore, imagining the feel of the water. As you head back in silence, you consider which of your vocations to pursue. A little bit of time still. Maybe we can at least do a right. Oh, new pages. I oftentimes think the carapace of the hive titan Violanthius shall be an everlasting blemish on an almost splendid bit of land, but Jimmer in his brashness felled the monster with a certain flare. Then the moon shone through the ridges of the massive carapace and shined upon the pooling ichor, turning it into the freshest nectar ever to be tasted. The spring shall flow eternally, and those who walk within it shall experience the resplendent glory of the land. The stars began to fall there in the spring with regularity, and we now know how soon again that they shall do so, and we wish for you to see it for yourself. Much can be said about the Sisters of the Arch, whom we banished to the great beyond, for deeds irredeemable. Suffice it that the details of their banishment are written in this book. The sisters in the book became inseparable. Wait, oh, we read this one already. Pretty sure we read that one, didn't we? Yeah, no, I read that one. You find Jadariel seemingly deep in thought. You consider whether even to bother her. Your presence is not unwelcome, reader. Remain a moment, please. She stares at you for some time. Today marks the beginning of my 16th year in exile. You look back at her and remain silent. You sense all that she wants from you right now is for you to listen. I've kept count, put notches in this breastplate of mine for each passing day. Notice how much it is frayed. 16 years, reader. The orphans whom I fostered would be long since fully grown. Some of them are likely gone. Many of them spoke of how they longed one day to serve with me on the blood border, northern edge of the Commonwealth. Sometimes I cannot help but wonder, if I still were captain, could I have protected them? Could I have made a difference? I think not. The Commonwealth and the High Wing remnants, they have fought eternally. Those such as I have come and gone without the age. I catch myself feeling pity for my years, but then, had I remained there on the blood border, it is unlikely I would have lived to see this day. She looks at you again. Do you know why they cast me down? I was a decorated captain. They said I was the best. She closes her eyes a moment before she continues. One day, it was a standard patrol, but I ran across a pack of harp fledglings. fully armed and preparing for a strike, but all on their own. They were nothing for my regiment. We ensnared them all and took them all in. A considerable prize. They were not yet conditioned and could be made to talk. When the order came down that they were to be executed, I could not bring myself. The Commonwealth priding itself on mercy, committing such acts, through one such as me, it was unconscionable. So I thought then, at least in my younger years, I let the damned birds go, made no claims as to the contrary, and turned myself in. I was cast down the following week, 16 years ago. Thus my enemies had the last laugh in that exchange. If I were to face with the same choice again today, I do not know for certain that I would have chosen just the same. Now then, I shall go and mark this occasion, as I have always done. Be well, reader. She heads out of the wagon alone. Ooh, bio updated. Heard Mr. Greentail moved on. I just want to know he was one of my favorite customers, so I'm going to give you great deals, okay? Twilight Shard. When flinging the orb into the adversary's pyre, the bearer deals bonus damage. I mean, he's not around to use it anymore. Might as well sell it.
LunarJade.
Okay. Yeah, we can do another right. Here among the dry flats of the spring of Jomir, you await the signal of the stars. There is no sign yet of your expected adversaries, the accusers. Then the little imp Tizo flutters up to you. Tizo cautions you that he has some history with your next adversary, Lendl. Tizo seems to be indicating that Lendl has a personal vendetta against him. But before he can explain any further, the stars begin to call to you. Sounds like Tizo doesn't wanna hang out in this fight.
Reader, ever persevering, aren't we? Well then, rejoice, because the cycle of the rites begins anew. Perhaps you'll liberate another soon enough. Your chosen adversaries here shall be the accusers. Reduce their flame to ash, just as you did when last you met. Now, who exactly shall oppose them?
Companions are assembled and ready for the rites to commence. However, there is still no sign of your adversaries, the accusers. The little imp Tizo screeches something, cautioning you all to stay alert. But then, someone leaps forth from the shadows. He grabs at his mask. Aha! Caught out, you miserable beast. I knew it after all this time. I knew that you were still among their ranks. Tizo is angry to have stumbled into an apparent trap laid for him by Lendl. Silence, fiend. You robbed me of my freedom, my dignity. Your evil shall be ended here and now, and you Nightwings shall not deny me thus again. Come then, my accusers, for we face again none other than the spawn of the accursed imp, however, the Swallow. Let us show him that he is a disgrace. Oh. Tizo whistles something angry back at him. Whatever transpired between him and Lendl in the past, Lendl evidently has not let it go. Come, accusers, let us make clear to those fools we are stronger than ever. You sense Lendl speaks the truth. The accusers are more capable than before. Each time they gain talismans. Masteries. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
The rite shall begin forthwith.
Oh, now I can look at them. Okay. So, okay. Your Pyre can do that. Bonus damage. Bonus damage. Interesting. And actually kind of annoying.
Headwind. Dario.
Shanely Attack, hey, thank you for the 20-month resub.
Nay.
Krastia?
It is done.
I don't like the way that Lendl spoke to Tizo. Tizo is my friend. Nightwings, the wicked fiend you serve is an affront. He denied my rightful freedom in my moment of triumph. I shall never forgive him, or any of you.
Begin. Lendl vanished. The night wings are first to strike the adversary's flame. Oh, so close. Disaster. As per the sacred law. Tis taken. Ouch. Fear not the purified blade. The Nightwings edge closer to victory. Such fervor. Alas for Lendl. Exactly by the book. Ta-ta, Lendl. Glory! engulfed within the aura.
You'll have to do better than that.
Their Pyre sputters.
No, not again. I cannot lose to you again. This cannot be happening to me.
Well cast.
Shit. It's fine. Still okay.
Simply abhorrent.
Okay. Less okay there.
Burning flame to ash. Accusers banished to the last. And it is done. The Nightwings prevail. What a crushing victory it was. The right is ended.
Tizo is very pleased that you prevailed, but wishes to make a quick exit at this time. Blast! Where did he go? Where did he go? That infernal imp is a monster in disguise, a fiend, come forth to torment me until the day I die. Lendl storms off in a fit of anger. Tizo appears once the coast is clear and expresses his gratitude again. What Lendl said before, if Tizo truly is a descendant of Haab the Swallow, then he has quite the legacy to live up to.
Bask now in the wisdom of the scribes. Twould seem the exiled Jodariel has a knack for these affairs. Witness the rites firsthand and be inspired. Until the next rite.
You return to the wagon after you and your fellow exiles vanquish the accusers, and find Volfred waiting for you there. Well done back there. You are serving your companions well. Now then, I've something that I wish to share with you if you have a moment. We've discussed the plan, the one about taking everything over, which now has a probability of 26%. Wow, we went up a lot. Of which you're all part. I have a means of measuring our progress towards the goal of it. I'd like for you to have a look at it. First, let's determine where the rites may take us next. Look forth. I expect you shall again see several shining stars where once you saw but one. Several shining stars, a trick of the eye or will of the scribes, who can say? I too once gained this newfound vision many years ago, following my first liberation rite, and I believe only we of the Nightwings have this gift. I realize that in choosing whom the Nightwings confront at each rite, we in turn influence which triumvirate we face when the time comes for someone to be set free. The object I invite you to use contains further detail. Object that shows the relative standings between the 9 triumvirates and the rites. Okay. Wow. Stats. Using Vollard's planner, you may assess your progress towards your ultimate goal, as well as check the current standings of your adversaries. Ulfred shall keep this information up to date for the remainder of your quest. You may look over it now or any time in the Black Wagon, or while searching the stars. So, I don't know how many. So our record, okay, 9-0. Okay. Let's go fight them. Well, not right now, but, you know, soon. Is this night to understand that we shall soon confront Sir Deluge and the Pyre Hearts once more? Then this is to be a most exciting time. This night's one-time commanding officer, imagine if you will, a worm without the slightest trace of bravery. Sir Gilman then recounts his tales of Sir Deluge's past, and how it is that they wound up together in the downside. Sir Deluge, a worm knight of the Sea Dominion, and former ally of Sir Gilman. He lacks the sort of courage for which his kind is known, yet somehow leads the Pyre Hearts anyway. Some worms born under the Sea Dominion's waters sought life's meaning on dry land. The Commonwealth recognized their chivalrous traditions and soon put them to use. Sir Deluge was just another bit of frontline fodder in the war against the High-Wing remnants, yet time and again he distinguished himself for one simple reason: he would not die. His unusual instinct for self-preservation kept him safe in many battles, and over time he was repeatedly promoted for lack of any real competition. Then, in the Battle of the Spiral Sanctum, when retreat certainly was not an option, Sir Deluge retreated anyway. This was a breaking point, and he was at last sentenced into exile. And the downside, he sought water, where he made contact with Sir Gillam and other members of his kind. They all saluted him as their superior. The other knights had little choice but to respect his rank. As the Pyre Hearts, they conduct the rites in the name of their great hero, the Underking Ors, while adhering to their strict code. This might have failed quite so miserably at the Battle of the Spiral Sanctum had his entire regiment not turned in disarray after Sir Deluge fled. Perhaps by confronting his former commander, this knight's own honor may be regained in part. For now, however, this knight must beg you your leave. You say goodnight to Sir Gilman in turn. There's no time to make flight preparations now, though in the morning you will press on once again. Alright, I think we're gonna leave that there for today, because I can only read for so long. But this has been good. Lots of good progress. Let's see, who's online right now? Well, it looks like, looks like Adam's still online, so it's been going for a while, but we'll rate him anyway. I'm never sure how long his streams go. He's playing Tekken 8 right now. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today. I still intend to stream tomorrow, but it's a pretty packed day for me, so it'll probably be later in the day. But thanks for hanging out, everyone, and I'll see you later. Okay? Yeah, okay.